Sag, I will be giving away a free reading this month. If you'd like to be considered, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. Sag. Okay, Sag. A message coming through for you pertains to travel. But it almost feels like some of you may be moving. Is there a place that's really calling to you right now? Is there a place that's trying to pull you back? I feel like there's energy maybe pulling you back to a place that you love. It feels like it would be a very positive move or a very positive trip. If you're single, there's love there for you. That's a really big message. It feels like there's love there for you, even if you're not single. So you may be moving to go live by somebody, to go live near somebody. This may revive a relationship that's been a little bit stale or a little bit monotonous, because I'm getting a lot of monotony type energy. I'm actually hearing the word monotony, okay? So a move or travel is going to freshen something that has gone a little bit stale, but travel and a potential move, okay? But I will caution you this, don't rush into it. Don't be reactive. Oh, okay, I really missed that place. Let me just pack up and go. It doesn't mean that you have to wait months and months and months and months. But if you are reactive right now, you may not move to the right area. The right apartment isn't available. So take a little bit of time to really think this through. Again, it doesn't have to be prolonged. It doesn't have to be pushed back like 6 months. It does feel like you would move much sooner than that, maybe within the next 3 months, but it also doesn't have to be tomorrow, okay? Especially if you're making a really big change. So let's get a little bit more clarity here. Sag in love, October 21st through November 4th, separation energy. Okay, if you've gone through a separation, this may be why you're moving. This may be why you're considering moving. You want a fresh start. There's love somewhere new for you, okay? I do feel some reconciliation here too for some of you. So it's someone pulling you back, or a location pulling you back. So someone may be coming back home. After a separation, someone may have been traveling. So it may not be breakup separation. It could be that somebody has been traveling and now they're coming back home. But there does seem to be this energy or this sense of a place is calling to you, or it is calling a partner back to you. But there's a place that is calling somebody back home, okay? I do see with this separation, the potential for a dark night of the soul, Sag. So try not to get stuck there. I know that's easier said than done. If there's grief, feel it, but write about it. Reach out to friends, reach out to healers, get some energy healing done. Nurture yourself. Don't be stuck inside, indoors, curtains drawn, closed shut and lights off. And I'm seeing a little bit of dark energy around this. Someone really could be suffering now. If you feel like that isn't you, that could be a partner that you separated from, like really suffering. I'm hearing and I'm seeing dark night of the soul, but it can be avoided. It doesn't mean that you're going to avoid grief, but you can feel grief without having a full-blown dark night of the soul. I think that move energy is going to be movement forward. There's inspiration. So if someone's feeling just stuck in a rut, stuck in grief, it's not about running away from your problems, but it is about opening some new doors and some new experiences, okay? So I think for some of you, even if it's not a full-blown move, at least get out and travel, because it seems like there's healing and there's love there. If you do, trust at the core of your reading. Trust in your process. Trust in your journey. Trust that you can love somebody and know that it's still of the highest good to leave. It doesn't mean that that trust wasn't real. It just means that the journey is over, or it's at least over for now, because I am getting some reconciliations here. I do see some partners coming back, and it's a reconnection that you can trust. I'm getting a new partner that you can trust, though. Okay, Sag, this is an interesting energy. This won't apply to all of you. But there's this message of a trustworthy friend becoming a new romantic partner. It's probably someone you've never had a romantic relationship with before, possibly turning into that next new love. It feels really good for you. So I'm getting this particular type of, I want to say a personality. Let's call it a personality. So it's trust at the center here. I'm seeing somebody possibly in the military, because I'm getting somebody in uniform. I'm getting somebody who sort of has that energy. Maybe they're a leader. This could very well be your energy, Sag. But this person feels really grounded. I'm getting an earth sign or earth sign energy, but somebody who's a leader of sorts, but who may be a little old school, who may be a little militant at times. And that may not have been easy for you to deal with. Now, that could also be the person that you separated from. But I feel like there's somebody who is a little hardcore that winds up being a very trustworthy partner for you. And that may be why you allow them to come back in. Following all of this is children, okay? This feels like inner child work, especially if you're going through a dark night of the soul, or to avoid getting stuck in that kind of a place. It's inner child work. I see a new partner being really good for children. I'm seeing somebody missing children. So could somebody just be traveling and they're missing their family and their kids? Definitely getting that. This feels like inner child work. It also feels like there's somebody who's kind of militant. And it almost feels like your energy pulls them out of that. It's like, let's go have fun. Let's go be little kids together. Let's be playful. Let's exercise our inner child. That feels like something you could be teaching a partner who's maybe a little more old school, who's not so into or conscious of like the spiritual journey. I do feel like even though this person could be a little rigid or a little hardcore, they do feel pretty evolved though. So I would be surprised if this person didn't have some sort of spiritual understanding. They may not be on the same journey as you, but they may also be open to learning from you, Sag, okay? Because I'm seeing growth here. I'm seeing growth of the inner child, a rekindling of inner child, exercising inner child. So there's a whole lot of energy around that kind of healing. So separation, you have a little kitty who wants to jump in front of the camera. Separation is being clarified by worth waiting for. I think someone is worth waiting for if they're traveling and for them to come home. Okay, you're waiting for them or they're waiting for you and you know that it's worthwhile. I do see somebody worth waiting for coming in after a separation. Okay, so again, for some of you, it is a reconciliation. But I think for many of you, it really is new love. I really think if you've gone through a hardcore separation and there's been some grief, you may not even want to step back into that old journey because you're going to be afraid that something's going to repeat. There's somebody new here. It feels like there's somebody new in that new place. Even if you're just traveling there, it doesn't necessarily mean all of you have to move, but I do see you getting out of where you live. I do see some travel. I see some new scenery. I see new kinds of people, personalities that maybe you're not used to being around, or possibly even a completely different culture. Okay, so we have trust at the core, clarified by religious factors, okay? Typically, I don't pick up religious with this. I usually get spiritual factors, and I do think there are some spiritual factors involved, probably some sort of a soulmate connection, especially if this is a new person coming back. But that person who does tend to be old school may also have some very serious ties and beliefs and religious beliefs, and that may be really difficult for you at times. That may not be in full alignment with where you are at, Sag. Someone may feel like that about you, but it does feel like that as a partner. Somebody's kind of old school, and you tend to be a little more open-minded, and you're more on a spiritual journey than a religious one. All of that is okay, but it does feel like someone could be clashing a little bit because of that. It does feel like this person is still very trustworthy and would be worthwhile. It would be worth your while to try to work through some of that. As long as there's a compromise, I don't see anybody getting Sag to convert to their religion. But all of it's fine as long as there is mutual respect, right? You respect their journey and their beliefs. They respect your journey, and they respect your journey and your beliefs as well, okay? Children. It's being clarified by self-love, okay? This is all about inner child healing. There is a huge message around inner child healing for you and for a partner. If you're single, make sure you are healing the inner child at this time. Make sure you're exercising the inner child, though, not just meditating on the inner child. Get out and go, like, eat some ice cream, or for me, some vegan ice cream, you know, and like go do something that will just bring joy to that childish side of yourself. Go out and go play. I see you like finding a friend and going and swinging on the swings and doing something that is just almost kind of, I don't want to say inappropriate because it's like totally appropriate for you. Go find like your Gemini friend and go be little kids for a little while, Sag. It feels like that's what's going to pull you out of whatever this grief is, this dark energy, okay? Now, you may be the friend of pulling somebody else out of that dark energy. This doesn't necessarily mean it's all Sag's energy here. You may be pulling someone out of bed, opening the curtains. It's bright outside. It's daytime. There's life to live here. Come on and get up. I'm going to help you. I'm going to be that friend. You may be healing somebody in that way this month, okay? But this does pertain to love, so don't be surprised if that is a partner. A partner may be going through a really hard time. And it may not be a separation that you guys have had. I'm seeing some loss. The partner may have lost a loved one. I'm getting like a really close friend possibly. And they may be really struggling. I'm seeing a loss of money here a little bit too, even though I don't see that money would actually be an issue, but someone might have some fear around that anyway. And it may, again, be causing like this dark night of the soul. You may be the one pulling them up and out of that, your loved one up and out of that, okay? Crowning your reading, we have 2 cards. We have finances and career and retreat. Someone may be retreating a little bit and retreating a little too much, and it's getting a little too dark. I am seeing some stress around finances and career, possibly a loss of a job, possibly some loss of money. But I'm going to tell you this, Sag, if this is you and you're concerned about this, you're going to see it turn out real quick with career and with money. You guys are fine. So don't manifest any money issues. Even if that doesn't make total sense, you're like, well, I've just lost so much money. How could I ever recover? Universe has got you covered, okay? We do have trust at the core of this reading too, okay? It would be wise to start focusing on new options and new businesses and new ideas in terms of finances and career too. It feels like that's going to get somebody up and out of bed to be inspired again. Again, the retreat's so positive when you're doing that inner child healing, but it's almost like someone's retreating a little too much, okay? It's time for someone to get up and out. It's time for someone to get out of the house. Bottom of the deck here, though, we still have passion. So for those of you in committed relationships, you may just be dealing with a hard time with the partner going through it, and you're trying to be supportive, but there's still passion here. There's still trust. There's still love. Guide them through that inner child journey, because it does feel like you may be with a partner who would benefit from what you can teach them about spirituality, from what you can teach them in regards to healing the inner child. What is a dark night of the soul? How can you get back into that flow of money and that divine flow? To receive that abundance. How do you ask? How do you meditate? Those may be kinds of conversations you're having with somebody that you love this month, and it may be a little bit difficult. I'm telling you, it's worth it. If you're helping a partner, it's worth it. Okay? It's not necessarily worth waiting for someone new to come in. It's worth waiting. It's worth the patience. It's worth the time. It's worth the energy, and it's worth waiting for them to heal. Okay? For some of you. If you are finding like you're in that dark night of the soul, and that's where you're at right now, Sag, the light at the end of the tunnel is here for you. Money and career, something's turning around really quickly. Please just get yourself out of the house. Reach out to people who love you, and they'll help you through it, okay? I'm here for you. You guys know that I specialize in energy healing. I am available for that if you need it, okay? But all in all, there's some sort of shift here. And this personality that comes in, they may challenge you, Sag, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it would actually be a little bit intriguing. This sort of old school personality. It may clash with your like really friendly, outgoing, but you know what? You could balance each other out a little bit, right? Pull them out of their shell, open their minds a little bit, and then teach you a little bit more about those roots and that stability and some of that old school stuff. You may learn something from them too, right? So this feels beautiful for you, even if you are going through a hard time. Trust that there is healing here, okay? Focus on your inner child. Or if you're helping someone heal, make sure you're helping them with that inner child healing too, or at least encouraging them to do that work. All right, Sag, if you guys feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings, for energy healing. I'm fully booked for the rest of October, but I do have a wait list going. I will also honor emergency healings and emergency readings. Okay, if you need it, reach out to me. I will be back November 1st for your full month of November reading, but in the meantime, again, sending so much love, like gratitude. I will see you guys back here soon. Ciao.